What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you are, if you aren't, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube while you're at it, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. Let's get into this conversation/reality chat. I wanted to talk about this, and I'm going to get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section about Carlos, the direction of his shows. He's got Love and Marriage Huntsville on the OWN TV network. He's not new to reality TV, but I believe this is his own production where it wasn't, he was just working on a show like Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac and Real Housewives of New Jersey, to name a few, from the Bravo spectrum. Well, he's got, after Love and Marriage Huntsville, he's got Love and Marriage DC, which was starring on the first season of it, Monique Samuels from the Real Housewives of Potomac and her husband. And when she was fired from the Real Housewives of Potomac, but to hear her say it, she quit Potomac, but she was fired. She beat down Candace, and that was it for her. And so she had nothing but negative things to say about the show. And then when Carlos offered her this opportunity, which was going to be a spinoff of Love and Marriage Huntsville, she spoke about this opportunity like this was great. She didn't want to have anything else to do with reality TV. But when Carlos came to her and convinced her to do it, she was all for it. And then she was like throwing shade towards Real Housewives of Potomac. And then when it came around to season 2, she quit. And I'm quite sure it probably has something to do with the money. And she was claiming that she didn't like the way that she was being portrayed in the editing. And that's what people usually say about themselves when they're just showing what you put out there. Yeah, they may not show every single thing that you put out there, but they're showing for the most part what you put out there and what they feel is going to get the views. And what we were seeing was the cracks in her marriage. And that's the one thing that I feel that Monique didn't want to put out there. But anyway, I digress. From Love and Marriage DC, now we've got this other one that's supposed to be starting at the end of the month, Love and Marriage Detroit. But the way Carlos is doing it and the way he has been doing it so far, that's with the breaking up of these seasons, it throws people off. So you don't know if you're on season 1 or season 2, season 1.5, season 2.5, season 4.5. Like, people don't really know what it is because they will show several episodes. Then there will be a break of maybe, I don't know, like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. And then the show comes back. But in that meantime, one of the other shows is showing. He did that with Love and Marriage Huntsville before, and he did it with Love and Marriage DC. So recently on the OMFG Reality TV blog on Instagram, I was looking at something because they posted a tweet from Ashley Silva, who is on Love and Marriage DC. And she did a tweet where she says, "Y'all keep asking us when part 2 of Love and Marriage DC is coming. We think sometime this summer. Once we get a date, y'all will know. But so much has happened since we wrapped in March," crying emoji face. And it was funny to read the comments because, to be honest with you, some people were like, with Ashley, girl, who even asked you? But a lot of the comments were about Carlos. So I'm going to read some of these comments from commenters and and just tell you how the people are feeling, because a lot of people really aren't feeling the way Carlos is doing stuff with these shows. And I know a lot of people have had a lot to say about him with the way Love and Marriage Huntsville has been going, not just in terms of the way the seasons are laid out and having the breaks and them coming back, but just the handling of certain people on the show. And for the most part, who I am speaking of. I'm going to try not to say that name in this episode, in this conversation. But just to read some of the comments to you, one person says, "I think it's so stupid that Carlos does this," talking about the breaking up of the shows. Another one says, "I forgot about this damn show." Someone else says, I like this show better than Huntsville. The fan base is not toxic at all. And a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that the fan base of the Love and Marriage Huntsville show, they can be a bit much. Like I told you guys before, I got interested in the show just because off of the strength of Huntsville and having at that time when the show started sort of an affiliation with the city because it was a new city to me. When my husband got a job overseas by way of Huntsville, Alabama, I had never heard of Huntsville before. But anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole again, just saying, even with that being said, I wasn't a diehard watcher of the show because I could have taken it or left it. And there were a lot of times I really didn't watch the show or pay attention to it. So anyway, someone else says, Carlos didn't know what he was doing at OWN. Y'all bring in the Detroit cast without a trailer, a real trailer or introduction. Then starting a new show without wrapping up the last one makes no sense. And someone else says, girl, we want you gone. So no update needed from you. Thanks. And someone else says, why is she still here, Ike? And then someone else says, right, like we're waiting for her to come on. Laughing face emoji. And another one says, why would they start a new show without ending that one first? It's stupid. And someone else says, they need to put a pin in it in this show. And another one says, we don't want it. They need to review the show and get new people to cast. Someone else says, girl, we do not care. Another comment is, splitting the seasons up is the dumbest crap ever. This is why I love Bravo, because that is what this isn't. Someone else says, nobody asking y'all that. So they're basically saying, you're reaching, you just want to act like so many people are pressing you in your DMs saying, when are you coming back? We missed you, when nobody's really asking you for that. So that's what someone else said in response to her tweet. And another one says, the show is dry as toast. Wrap it up, Carlos. And another one says, who asked that? And another one says, Carlos is trying to be like Andy, but he drops the ball every single time. And another one says in all caps, Ashley, we don't want to see you and your mean girl energy. Stop. And another one says, baby, we don't even care at this point. And then someone else says, I thought she quit the show. And I actually did see that a few months back where someone was talking about her making a tweet. I believe it was around the time that the show, the last episode of that season aired, because Ashley really did not look good. She didn't come off good in my eyes. And I actually liked her. I'm not saying I dislike her, but I really didn't like her energy, and I just didn't really like how she was acting like she's the star of the show and how she was treating that other chick that just came on the show and how she was just acting towards her. It was a real turnoff for me. So after that aired, she tweeted about how she's not sure if she's coming back. And I don't know why people do that stuff on these shows. It kind of reminds me of that Nene energy when Nene used to always put out there that she doesn't know if she's going to be returning. And lo and behold, she would always come back until they said, thank you for your services. They're no longer needed. Right. So, yeah, that's what that person was talking about when they said, I thought she quit the show. And someone else says, I thought she said she wasn't coming back. Another one, I thought she said she was done. And another one, nobody is asking. LMAO. And someone else, speaking about Carlos, why would they start a new show without ending that one first? It's stupid. So, yeah, a lot of people are just not understanding why Carlos is doing this the way that he's doing it, where you've got, I think he said recently when he did the review of the last episode that aired of Love and Marriage Huntsville with DJ Richie Sky, I think he said there was about 3 or 4 more episodes that were to come, and then there was going to be a break. And so after, I guess, the episodes air of Love and Marriage Detroit, maybe Love and Marriage DC is going to come in then, and then they're going to come back to Huntsville. I don't know, but a lot of people aren't feeling it the way that he's doing it. I don't know what would be best, because I know when it comes to the reality TV shows like the Real Housewives franchise that comes on Bravo, they have the full season that airs, and then another full season airs of one of the other cities, and then another full season airs of one of the other cities. With Carlos, the way he does it, because at first all he had was Love and Marriage Huntsville, now he's going to have 3 of these on the show, as well as I think he has that other reality show that doesn't even come on the OWN network. It's called Grown and Gospel, which I actually did watch it out of curiosity. That was a hot mess. I actually was going to talk about that show, but I just never got around to doing it. So if another season airs of it, I may talk about that, because I just thought it was quite comical, to say the least. The production value of it, as well as just the people on the show and the stuff they were talking about. But anyway, not to go off on the tangent and off of the subject, but I don't know if he feels like, well, if I have the seasons cut up like this, it just really keeps my stuff out there because he doesn't have that many franchises or shows. I don't know. But I want to get you what you feel about it. I want to get your thoughts on it. And do you feel that Carlos is trying to do something different from Andy? Is he trying to compete with Andy with the way he does things on Bravo? Or is this just his way of trying to keep things fresh and trying to keep the cameras rolling for the most part, but giving them little breaks in between so that he can keep his stuff on the television? Because this is his bread and butter. He's obviously not broke, but a lot of people really aren't feeling Love and Marriage Huntsville like that anymore. I've heard a lot of people that are saying that they used to watch the show. They don't watch it anymore. A number of people who used to be reviewers of the show as content creators, they don't create content around this subject anymore and talk about it anymore because they just feel that it's over, it's done, it's tired, or the toxicity of some of the things. If someone doesn't feel favorably about one person or another, or just not even just that, but a lot of the things that have happened throughout social media as the show is either airing or when the show isn't on the air, it seems like it's become more drama filled with stuff on social media than it even is on the show. So a lot of people have kind of got bored with the show because of all the theatrics and the fireworks that happen with the show on social media. I don't know. But do you feel that Carlos is just not going in the right direction when it comes to these shows and he's going to have to do like a revamp? It's kind of sad because, of course, these shows have not been running as long as the Real Housewives franchise. And I'm never here to see anybody fail, but that's just a part of business. You go through your up moments and your down moments, your peaks and your valleys. You learn lessons and you move forward from them and you do things differently and you pivot. And I've talked about a lot of those things when it comes to business on my other YouTube channel. By the way, if you are not subscribed to that channel, please go to the links in the description box and go and subscribe to my other channel. I would appreciate that. But I don't know. A lot of people just aren't feeling Carlos in the direction of these reality shows on OWN TV. A lot of people are saying, girl, Ashley, nobody's asking you. I'm just reading the comments of what people had to say about her tweet on Instagram I just am like, wow, because I didn't know. I don't follow any of these people on social media, so I didn't know that people weren't really feeling her like that. Like I said, I actually like Ashley, but I didn't care for how she was handling things in this last season when I saw how she was with the new chick. I believe her name is Joy, who was on the show, and she was trying to make it seem like she needed to bow down to her and thank her for being on the show. When she brought that up, it was just a real turnoff for me. Like, I was the one that advocated for you to be on the show, so you should thank me. Those were not her words verbatim, but that's basically what she was trying to imply. And I was like, wow, that is really bold of you. But okay, didn't know you had the hiring power like that. But anyway, guys, you let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.